Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brandon and this is Peak Performance Engineering, and today I'm actually over at my dad's house. I'm going to show you guys a couple of the projects that he's been working on for the last couple of years, so stay tuned. So it is 60 degrees here in Michigan. It's the first time it's been 60 degrees for 2022. So I have the top down on the Jeep today, and let's go ahead and walk into my dad's garage and I'll show you a couple projects he's working on. He has some, not some great lighting inside here, so hopefully we can even see. Hopefully you guys can even hear me right now because we have a wind advisory going on until like 4 o'clock. So let's get in there and check this out. All right, Pops, so why don't you tell me about your couple cars here, bro? So what do we got here? We got a 1930 Chevy. And we got this thing, what, 2 years ago you've been working on this thing?
Yeah.
So what all have you done to it?
Got the motor in, got the transmission in.
What kind of motor are we talking about here? This is, what is this, 350?
454.
454, dang boy. It looks like it's tight in there, but you got it in there. Still need some final welding and stuff, but, and then what about the front end? What is this, a Mustang?
Mustang II front end.
Mustang II system you got off, eBay, some seller. So it's got the little coilover action up there, looking good. Otherwise, what, the body was pretty much the same. You didn't do any body work really, right? Except for you hammered out some dents and stuff on this piece.
There, yeah.
But this dude that we got it from, like, had all the stitch welding stuff done to it already. The car came from California. So we've actually got videos of it and stuff. These seats actually came out of my 65 Mustang. It's got a new steering wheel, did the gauges. He did this little kind of just interior deal. Panels. What are these seats out of? A Focus or something?
Yeah.
So they fit. It's got a wire harness. Still needs to be, of course, fully wired. You put these wheels and stuff on there. Still have to figure that out. But and then what's it got for a rear end under it?
It's like a 57 Chevy rear end, but it's got to be changed.
And then you got a turbo 400 trans right behind the motor.
Yeah.
So still have to do the drive shaft, all that stuff.
I have a drive shaft over there. I just got to figure out if it needs to be changed and cut.
Yep. Yeah, so this thing will be cool. Probably not going to be done this year, maybe next year, but then you got your Galaxie. So what year is this thing? 67? 67 Galaxie. You've had this thing for how many years, you think?
Oh, long time.
No, I mean, not that long. What, 7 years maybe?
No, not that long.
6, 7 years?
Had this for 2, so 5.
Okay. Now this car was running and driving when you got it. You got it for a pretty good deal, a couple $1,000, right? Something like that. $1,200 running and driving. It's definitely not the market today, right? You can see he kind of put in some partial quarters. He, he did some practice welding with the Harbor Freight, so that's got to get kind of cleaned up. But brand new wheels and tires, 4-wheel disc brakes. You had the motor rebuilt. And what motor is in there?
390 big block.
Oh yeah, 390 big block. And then what's
C6 tranny.
C6 tranny.
And a 9-inch floor.
So all this crap's brand new. The rear end, I think, is also brand new, right?
It's not brand new, but it's been changed.
You've had that changed or whatever. So I mean, dude, almost whole running gear, all this stuff's been changed out. Interior, I think you ended up ordering all this stuff new, right? All the door panels, carpet,
Yeah.
seat covers. Did you recover the seats, or did you bought these? But all the door cards, all that stuff's new. Shifter, blah, blah, blah. So this thing is like, starts right now. It's almost ready to like drive. It needs brakes bled, right? Proportioning valve put in, and something was going on where it wasn't quite shifting into like drive, reverse. So we got to kind of figure that stuff out. But this car is almost ready to rock and roll. Of course it's primered still, but this could be a possibility to take on the Hot Rod Power Tour this year. So we will see. This or the Mustang. Or worst case, we'll just buy a Hellcat for the week and then sell it after or something. But all right, so what?
I extended the floor?
No. Why don't you show us, bro? Oh yeah, you put a little piece in there. Okay, so that's kind of what you want to do today, you think, and start messing with getting that firewall floor back in.
It's going to have to be, if you look at it from the front, the floor ends here, the firewall's here, so it's going to have a little bit of a bend and then up.
Gotcha. Now I gotta figure out the steering linkage. So, lots of stuff to do. All right, here is a shot of the motor on this 67 Galaxie. So again, it's a 390. He had this thing pulled out, had a machine shop, completely rebuild it, but it's still pretty much just stock cam. You know, it's got the little aluminum intake manifold and headers or whatever, but stock head, stock cam, so nothing too crazy. But all we got to do on this thing really to get it running is replace that proportioning valve down here on the brakes, and then he's got to bleed the brakes. And then it's just a matter of figuring out that transmission, like I was telling you guys. And this thing, I mean, it's going to have to get all the bugs worked out because it hasn't been driven in years and years, but it's pretty much ready to roll. So we could maybe slap some paint on it real quick, just something quick and dirty just to be able to take it on the power tour. But this is kind of one option, this or the Mustang. So we'll see which one's done by the time of the tour, but pretty cool. So now we're just working on some, he's got some cardboard templates here, and we're just seeing if we can kind of cut up and get some stuff kind of planned out for the firewall, and then eventually we'll have to pull the motor out and, you know, get that all welded up. But so right now we're just playing some crafts, fun stuff. All right, so we've been crafting like a couple maniacs here for a little bit. So here's kind of what we got. Thinking that this piece will go in last. This will be something, we made this a little bit bigger than the area so that he can just probably throw some zip screws in there, be able to remove that piece from when he's getting the engine and trans in and out. But we kind of got this piece sort of done. Thinking we might actually probably chop this into like 3 pieces, and then when he goes to kind of cut the metal, just kind of weld it in, you know, and kind of put this back together in 3 pieces. And then this is going to be the hardest piece to make. So we'll get some metal, have to kind of figure that out. Probably won't happen today, but at least get this cut out and all that crap. And then this piece may have to be in several pieces. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out when we get there. But yeah, it's coming along, so pretty cool stuff. This car's got a whole bunch of little just small stuff to figure out, like placements. Like once he gets this metal in, he's kind of got to figure out like where the gas pedal is going to go, because it kind of needs to go where the transmission is. And it's tough with these little cars, making, you know, all your feet fit in there and all that kind of crazy stuff. But anyway, we're just out here spending some quality time hanging out. All right, so after a little bit of messing around, somehow we got the old proportioning valve out of its home right around there, and we got the new one. Problem is now the new one, this is for disc, but a lot of these fittings do not work, you know, with the old lines. So somehow, I can't believe it, but we were able to salvage all the old lines and get them all off. So we're gonna go to the auto parts store, and we've got to get a couple fittings to try and make this thing work. And hopefully this will be installed, we'll see. All right, so we went to the auto parts store, tried to get some fittings. Oh, just blew my melon out. Get some fittings that we needed for this proportioning valve, but they didn't have them in stock. So we're gonna have to order that stuff online. So that's gonna be it on the Ford today. And I think I'm just about out of time for anything else. So I'm gonna have to get back home, but we'll have to get back to this hopefully in the next week or 2. All right, guys, so that's gonna be it for this one. Just wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse into a couple of the stuff that, you know, my dad's been working on, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.